Oh, what a nice day. I wonder what's going on here at the Peak House today. Do-do-do, do-do-do. Wait, what's that I see? Oh my, where did that come from? You know what that looks like? That looks like a T5 transmission already set up with the hydraulic clutch configuration. And I'm thinking about the only thing missing in here is there must be an arm that goes with that. That's a T5. I wonder who put that in my car and how it got here. Well, since it's here, I mean, it is after all here. He did say that someone had taken it sort of apart, but all the parts are supposed to be here. So I can see some loose screws and things, but yeah, see, I can lift this plate right off and have a look in there. So, well, before anything happens, before anything comes along and changes and spoils the moment, I believe I'll pick that up and put it inside the garage. Okay, so here's a clutch rod mount. Y'all keep in mind, I'm not terribly familiar with modern transmissions, modern straight shift GM style transmissions. But that is a clutch fork hinge, so this must have had a these things must have a clutch fork that hinges on this side, but this over here pushes and pulls them up and down. I'm gonna have to do some research. I believe this came out of like an S10, but I don't know for sure. I think that's what he said. Whoever the stranger was, it was like the mast. It was like the masts. An unknown stranger apparently left this in my hair. This, I wonder if this would fit the back of a Chevy engine, like this one, this little 283 right here. Let's get a tape measure, and I'm guessing that probably takes a smaller flywheel than this one, but these two holes here look to be a little bit over 8 inches apart. That is not a fit right there. It is not. It is not. Okay, so that Bellhousing won't work, but that's okay. We still have options. Yeah, okay. Because I bet there is a Bellhousing made for this. Now, since we're on the subject of Bellhousings, I have this one here, and I have another one here. Yep. Okay. Well, all of that is for a later date. However, see, I have my own T5 over here. Now, this is the one that was in the rat rod hooked to the Cadillac motor. Now, it was hooked to a Bellhousing that was an aftermarket Bellhousing that adapted to the back of a 53 Cadillac engine, which is also different. But I think it is. I bet, and I bet some of y'all can advise me on this, I bet Chevy makes a regular small block Chevy Bellhousing and, you know, appropriate size flywheel and hydraulic, the right forks. Because see that, and what I'm thinking about is the rat rod already has a hydraulic clutch master cylinder. So if I had like an S10 Bellhousing, and I don't need that car. Probably, I don't even know if that car weighs a ton. It might only weigh about 1,100 pounds or something, because there's hardly anything to it. But if I had like an S10 Bellhousing for I know 2 people right offhand that could tell me. One's 63 Impala and one is Rusty Acres, because he's got some shit on at his place, and 63 Impala's got one. Actually, both of those have them that belong to their sons. So anyway, I'm just mumbling all around here, but the long and the short of it is yeah, this is good. I need to make sure we don't lose any pieces and parts here. And what he told me was that someone took this apart to look at it to make sure it was all good, and they never really put it back together. He said it was complete, but unless there's some bolts in a bag hidden inside here, I don't see a bunch of bolts that are missing here and here and here and here and here. But and I see this is not tight. This right over here, but still, we got the major bits of it. So I'll ease that out of the car onto some rolling device or other. And I just happen to have a handy rolling device right here. These wheels don't turn good though, and I'm not sure why. They have little locking mechanisms, but they're not locked. I don't know why this thing is such a pain. But I have other rolling mechanisms around. There's one right there that I can put that on. So I'm going to set the tape measure back in the tape measure drawer, and I'm going to grab this one over here, and we will take it over to the back of the car and set that transmission out of it, and then we can roll it about freely and easily, as though the good Lord had made us to do so in His infinite will and knowledge and such. So I suppose I should mention that one of the things that's been on my mind for years is putting a straight shift transmission in the Rambler. Some of y'all know that I own a Rambler. Let me turn this thing. Talk more freely. Some of you know that I own a Rambler, which is down in Georgia. It has a 350 Chevy engine in it and a 350 Chevy automatic transmission, which is a good setup, except I think it's got about a 370 geared rear end, and it idles, it runs at a pretty high RPM when you're going down the interstate, running about 80 miles an hour. See, this is a 3-speed overdrive, I mean a 5-speed overdrive. So this has the equivalent of a 4-speed transmission with an overdrive gear. With a transmission like this in the rat rod, I could cruise at, regular road speeds, 55, 60 miles an hour in the rat rod, and the engine is just boom, 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 boom. It's just barely, it's just loping along. It's not even working hard. So I could and since I always like to shift gears anyway, I could take out what I could do. I've said this before probably, but my thinking is I could take that 350 horse, 350 Chevy engine back there, build it, attach it to this transmission, take this down south, pull my other 350 out and slide this in. There may be a difference, and some of you might even know this, between the front of the Bellhousing and the back of this shaft, which would cause me to have to alter the length of my drive shaft. But other than that, I have the pedals for a Rambler that would fit, that would make this work. So what I could do is one of these, if I get one of these with the hydraulic setup on it, And I could put that one on the rat rod because it already has the hydraulic pedals on it. And then take the other one and use it, one of those regular old Chevy Bellhousings with a fork, and use the mechanical pedal setup with what they call a bell crank, which is where you mash the pedal like this, and that bell crank turns an arm that pushes that clutch like this. So between these two transmissions, if I have all the parts I need for this one, I believe I can achieve my goal, which is to have a 5-speed for the rat rod and a 5-speed overdrive transmission in the Rambler. All of that is aside from whatever else I was doing today. What I was doing yesterday was working on that 283 Chevy motor. I got a notice this morning that my starter is coming day after tomorrow, so I may not be working on that motor immediately, which what I might do instead is put some gas in that Crosley, crank it and get it out. Today is a pretty nice day. After today we're going to have a few days where it's going to be back down in the 40s, not so pleasant. But today's nice and sunshiny, and it might be fun to get the Crosley out and just have her run a little bit. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking. I'll get back to y'all later and let you know what happens. Thank you for tuning in to the days of our lives, or at least my life or something. Okay, I'll cut y'all off now. Thanks for hanging.